Let's get started now and let's begin our main discussion for tonight. So, a few weeks ago, we know what happened with 74 political parties, and it came up and deregistered them with some reason. But today, a federal high court in Abuja has restrained the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, from deregistering 35 political parties in the country. Justice Angwili Chikere gave the interlocutory order at a hearing of a suit by some of the parties recently deregistered by the electoral body. The judge says INEC failed to oppose the application by the applicants whose rights of association must be protected, and it says that the deregistered political parties breached their requirements for registration because they failed to win at least 2,596 of votes cast in one federal state of the federation during the presidential election. The INEC chairman further said at that press conference that the deregistration followed the poor performance of the parties in the 2019 general elections and court-ordered rerun elections arising from litigations, as none of the parties won one local government of a state in a governorship election. With a hint of a possible deregistration, 3 political parties, who were later joined by 32 others, approached the Federal High Court seeking an order restraining the electoral body from carrying out the proscription of the political parties. Ruling on the interlocutory motion between Advanced Congress of Democrats and 2 others against the Attorney General of the Federation and INEC, the court restrained the electoral umpire from deregistering any political party. The Action People's Party, APP, had also filed a suit and obtained a court order restraining INEC from deregistering it, with a court pronouncement. The deregistered political parties may now heave a sigh of relief. But, well, that's for now. Let's get a sense of what this means altogether. I have joining me tonight on the program from Abuja studio, the national chairman of the Inter-Party Advisory Council and the national chairman of PPA, Chief Peter Ame. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on the program. It does look like you and your colleagues are fighting back. And the question would be, isn't it looking like a case of crying over a spilt milk?
The issue is not about fighting back. The issue is about standing for the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. For us, one of the things that I told when this news broke out, it broke out in the media. If you look at parties that have been deregistered in the past, one of the ingredients of that judgment says that parties must be given fair hearing. The fact is that INEC was supposed to write on the exercise verification that was to be undertaken, stating clearly where parties have failed to reach this how they call it, their requirement. Because INEC never did that. There were no fair hearing. Every other party heard it in the news. In fact, parties were not given letters. You don't take actions like against a registered political party in Nigeria, a public institution, without proper communication and channel of communication well established. Because when it becomes that, it's like the right of Nigerians to be able to belong to an association, belong to a trade union, or belong to a political party where their right and interest to be protected has been infringed upon. See, this fight is not against political party and INEC. It is not against INEC and political party. This discussion is about upholding the tenet and spirit and letter of the Constitution. It is very key that we sit down and discuss this. Because if you look at Section 197, subsection 1, it clearly states what the function of political, how they call it, other bodies that are responsible for conduct of election in Nigeria. There are 36 other state independent electoral commissions that are supposed to conduct election in Nigeria. Not only INEC. INEC is federal electoral body. There's another 36. If you look at that, you can find that in Section 197, subsection 1. If you now go to the third schedule, you will see that state electoral commissions, 36 of them, are supposed to exist. And if you look at Section 25A, which says that criteria to be meant to win the election, local government and ward level is also part of it. And that third schedule says that those parties, that body will be responsible for conduct of state elections in Nigeria. And one of the mistakes that Nigerian people are making is jumping State Independent Electoral Commission with National Independent National Electoral as performing one function. No, they are the same product of the Constitution with the same authority, with the same power to conduct elections at the local level and at the national level. There's one thing we must clear here. And for you to say that you have conducted FCT election, and that stands for state election. That is wrong, because if you look at the Supreme Court judgment 2002 from Attorney General of the Federation and that of Abia State, it was between 350 persons. It was clearly stated, and in section 351 and section 36, that how they call it, area councils elections are not the same thing with local government elections. And that councillors in this area council are not the same thing as councillors in the state. Because FCT does not have the status of a state, so it cannot be judged to have the same local government of the status of the state. So for us, what we did is not a battle within political party and INEC. It's not a battle within INEC and political party. It's that we have started on the courage of Ganifa Emi, who had gone to court to make sure that the right of us was protected. And for us now, it's also make sure that the right of those who are coming after us is also protected.
Mr. Ahmed, just a moment. Chief Ahmed, just a moment. Let's get INEC into this conversation. Mr. Oluwole Osaze-Uzi is the director of voter education and publicity at INEC. Unfortunately, we could not get him into the studio because perhaps I think the weather in Abuja is getting under his skin, but we have him on the telephone now. Thank you so much, Mr. Osaze-Uzi, for joining us tonight on the program. You've heard what the IPAC chairman is saying. They've gone to court, gotten an interlocutory order to stop the commission from deregistering these political parties. What is the immediate reaction of INEC on this?
Thank you very much. At the time I left the office a few minutes ago, we had not seen the copy of the order, so it's difficult for me to comment on specifics. What I can say for sure is that, well, they have a case in court, and Chief Peter Ahmed knows better that he'll be coming to discuss the merits, so whether his case is good or is bad, when he and his colleagues took the commission to court, and that case is still pending in court. Now, they have said they have framed an order today which is seeking to stop an act which he knows has been done since the 6th of August 2020. So, and ordinarily, you don't restrain a completed act, something that has been done. What he has not told you is that their lawyer was in court today asking the court not to give a ruling, but instead to take their order to stop us from giving effect to the deregistration of those political parties, rightly or wrongly. And that's for the court to decide. We have deregistered political parties, 74 of them. And PPA happens to be one of them. And hi, Chief Ahmed, I saw in the news the other day that there's an interim committee of the IPAC. I don't know what the position is presently. But if you are not a chairman of a registered political party, my understanding is that you cannot even be a chairman of IPAC. But that's a different issue. So they will not have been in court today through their counsel asking the same court not to give effect to the deregistration. And secondly, I've seen some processes in that court. There are different grounds for deregistration. And one of those is a breach.
Just apologies if I may quickly chip this in as a quick question before because we're due for break in 20 seconds or so. Are you saying that restraining order, you say you don't have it, but should it be served on INEC? Are you saying that it does not have, is null and void because you are acting on the Constitution, or what exactly is the bottom line? In 20 seconds, we go to the break.
For a case that is in court, I cannot say that an order is null and void. If I think it is, then the commission can challenge it and go back to court. But obviously, the court is not aware that these parties, these 74 parties of the 33 that are in court, have been deregistered. Because if it had, then maybe inadvertently it gave that order. That's basically the summary of what we're trying to say in that regard. And two of the parties as plaintiffs are not even deregistered. All these facts are not before the court yet. But I think certainly will explore and exploit and bring before the court in due course.
Okay. Stay with us, Mr. Oluwole Osaze-Uzi, Chief Peter Ahmed in our Abuja studio. Stay with us. We'll take a break. And when we come back, we'll discuss more on this and the implications for Nigeria. 91 political parties, 74 INEC said deregistered. 35 out of those political parties are saying INEC did the wrong thing. We talk more after some of these messages, everyone. Join us again. Welcome back, everyone. Let's get back to the discussion. Where lies the fate of the 35 political parties that went to court today, or especially the 74 that were deregistered by INEC out of the 91 that we had earlier, leaving about 18 of them officially on the list of political parties existing in Nigeria. But these political parties went to court today to say, no, INEC, you do not have the power to yank us off the list of political parties because we feel aggrieved. Chipita Ame is IPAC chairman and the chairman of the national chairman of the PPA. We've had on the phone Mr. Oluwole Osazu-Uzi. He's the director of voter education and publicity. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming tonight on the program. Before I go to Chipita Ame, underline for us on all of this conversation, Mr. Uzi, the implication, you're a lawyer, interestingly, the implication of the decision of the court today, you're saying INEC has made its move and it's sacrosanct. It's cast in stone. That is what you've told us tonight. And now, what the court is asking is that do not deregister these political parties. In summary, what does this mean for INEC?
I think you'll permit me to probably outline a few things regarding this matter, so that the listener, the viewers are not misled. Now, it was an interlocutory, for what I understand, it was an interlocutory order that was granted today pending the hearing of the case, right? And so it's not as if it's a final order, it's a judgment of the court. No, it's an interlocutory order from what we've been made to understand. And now 31 out of the 33 parties were deregistered. 2 were not deregistered. And recall, after our verification...
Apologies, so that, for the sake of education and clarity for a lot of our viewers who are perhaps not very used to those language, legal language, interlocutory order is that hold on until I finish determining this case. That's what the courts or the judges always say, that there is an aggrieved party in this matter, but hold on until I'm done with this case. That is what has happened today in court, isn't it?
That's correct. That is quite correct. You're right. And 2 of those parties, 2 of the plaintiffs, were not even deregistered. Furthermore, there is another political party that has gone to court, and they got an order of injunction, and we respected that order. That's why it's not among these plaintiffs, and it's one of the 18. 2 did not, as it were, pass a verification exercise. 1 was registered after the election, so we didn't think it was fair. It's not right for them to be included until we come through a cycle. And the second one had an order of court, and we did say in the statement, the chairman made it clear, look, we are waiting pending the determination of that action because of the order of court. If this order had come well before the direction, well before 6th of February, perhaps different considerations would have been brought to bear. But it's something in court. I cannot tell you expressly, say, this is what we're going to do, what we're not going to do. Whatever it is we have to do now, we will return to the court. The court refused.
Mr. Uzi, stay with us. Let's go to our Abuja studio. Let's get the response of Chief Peter Ame on this one. You heard, Chief Ame, what Mr. Osazu-Uzi had said, that for now, they've made their move under the law. They are permitted to do it. Is it looking like a fait accompli in all of this, in what is happening today?
I don't think so, because I think Mr. Ozi need to properly let's educate the Nigerian people so that he does not hide behind the dress and throw punches. The fact is that if INEC is responsible in registering political party, INEC lost the power to single-handedly register political party without effectively waiting for over 30 states to conduct their state elections. Because our 30 states have not conducted local government election, and I do not also want to touch on the facts on the matter, but to speak generally as a public, as an analyst, to look at the facts before us, that if you have the power to register parties, and Section 225A has clearly stated what and what to be won, and you are not responsible for the conduct of that election, you should have also been patient enough for parties who are yet to participate. As I'm speaking to you, a local government election is going to Enugu. My parties have been clear. About other 20-something parties have been clear to conduct that election. And I deregistered without giving even little respect to the independent state electoral commission of Enugu State and Ondo State. What we are saying is very clear. That parties haven't been registered, have the life of their own. They are they should be able to practice what they want to practice. Because Section 40 is about freedom. And freedom has no price, neither does freedom has restriction. So for us as political party, the issue is that we must continue to stand and move around. Because when things happen in a society that is lawless, people go to protest, people run around to look for trouble and cause all kind of chaos. But for us, we say no. The best place to go to is the temple of justice.
All
to
right.
be able to defend the rights of the Nigerian people,
so that
to keep their mandate that is freely given
apologies.
to them by the Constitution.
Apologies, Chivame.
not the registrars.
Let's
We are
get some
trying to
clarity. Let's get some clarity. Right here, I have this device on this table. These are two devices. INEC is saying that out of this, there is one that is taking away. It's only remaining one, meaning that they've taken the action already, and by law, they are permitted to do it, and nothing can happen. And that's why I asked the question, isn't it coming too late in the day, this interlocutory order by the court, when INEC has already made the move? As far as INEC is concerned, there are only 18 political parties in existence in Nigeria. Okay, what I'm saying is that I was trying to give a practical illustration so that people can get a breakdown of it. Now, the thing is that, on a final note, Chivame, what will be your final move right now? Because INEC is saying, as far as we're concerned, 18 political parties exist in Nigeria. The interlocutory order may not have a place because they have already taken their decision.
No, I don't think INEC is right, because INEC should provide acknowledgement for who serving these parties that they have been deregistered. You see, we're in a lawful society and must act lawfully to every order of the court. This is the only thing that can give Nigerian prosperity, that can give Nigerian growth. For us, this fight, like I said, it is not for Chivame. It is not for those who are national chairman today. It's for yet unborn generations to be able to have that right to participation without restriction, without sense of intimidation, without any form of being...
Let's close the program now, Chivame, and let's give Mr. Uzi 10 seconds to respond. Mr. Uzi, your final response and thoughts in 10 seconds, please.
Well, just to say that the matter is because we allow the court do what they have to do. We've respected all court orders. And it's important for him to know that, look, if it's in court, there isn't much we can do about that. And if it is true that the order has restraints in it, why then did the lawyer get up today to ask the court that they want to stop and INEC not to give effect? The Constitution 225 is quite clear, and we must give effect to constitutional provisions of the land. That's what's important.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Oluwole Osazi Uzi. He's the Director of Voter Education and Publicity at INEC. Thank you so much for talking to us. And Chief Peter Ime, INEC PPA National Chairman and Chairman of IPAC. Thank you so much for talking to us. History perhaps playing itself in the case of Chief Gani Fawehinmi's political party, NCP, and Pastor Chris Okote's party, Fresh Party. We've heard this of the CNN taken to the highest court in the land. We'll see how this one plays out. That's our show for tonight, everyone. Many thanks for watching. I'm Sean Kimale. Enjoy the rest of your evening.